It's Thursday, January 18th, 2024. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. I'm going to get right into it today. A few things I want to talk about. Please feel free to comment down below about anything you want to comment on. But I want to start with this. Dow Jones today finished up a little bit over 200 points. Markets across the board up. When I woke up this morning, the markets, Dow Jones was down well over 100 points. I don't remember the exact number, but it was down well over 100 points. We're continuing to watch this sell-off in bonds. The 10-year bond yield now well over 4%. I saw gold up $18, $19 today. Bitcoin went down to 40,000. It was down a couple $1,000s earlier today. I'm not sure where it is right now. So we have bonds selling off, gold going up, and the market going up at the same time. Somebody please explain the rigged system to me. How anybody could sit here and say that this game is not manipulated, that it's not fake, it's not rigged. You are drinking the Kool-Aid. What is happening right now really should be criminal, in my opinion. And it is misleading so many people. People are watching this. They're making life-altering decisions on what they're watching take place in the markets, and they have no idea. This whole thing is absolutely a fake game. The Fed's Raphael Bostic expects rate cuts to happen in third quarter. Now, let me ask all of you this. When Raphael came out today and said that now he expects no rate cut until the third quarter, how in the world could the markets, especially the Dow Jones today, not be down 500 to 1,000 points just based on that news alone? The markets seem to continue to ignore what is being said here. It's ignoring reality. The markets are ignoring the real economy. The markets are ignoring the consumer. The markets are ignoring a lot of danger out there, ladies and gentlemen. And this is laughable, but it's not laughable because it's extremely dangerous what's taking place. And so many people will say, oh, see, everything's fine because the stock market's up. And these people don't understand that there is no connection between reality and the real economy and the stock market, because this is another prime example of just how fake, propped up, and rigged the stock market really is. So please comment down below. What do you think is going on? Do you believe the stock market is real? I think today is another clear example of just how rigged it really is. And hopefully for the people who are in it and believe everything's going to be okay, that they don't pull the rug out from everybody and send this thing into mass chaos. Here's another one today. Weekly jobless claims post lowest reading since September 2022. This on CNBC today. The number came in 187,000. Okay, 187,000 people filed jobless claims last week. How in the world, somebody explain to me, when you have jobless claims under 200,000 and you have the stock market at all-time highs, unemployment at near all-time lows, the consumer is spending, although with credit cards, why would the Fed, how could the Fed even justify cutting rates at this point? The Fed never got the result that they wanted from raising rates because they didn't raise rates enough. They wanted to see some pain. They wanted to see these markets slow down. They wanted to see home prices get slammed. They want to see some pain, and they're getting the opposite effect. So now they're going to lower rates and create more of this mess. I don't get it whatsoever. Here's another one today from CNBC. Macys to cut more than 2,300 jobs. That's about 3.5% of its workforce, and close 5 stores. Wow, the economy is really, the real economy is doing incredible, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? You really got to be paying attention to what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. There is just so much lying going on, so much deceit taking place in these markets, and what we're being told. Just so much deceit, and people are really going to get hurt. So the Macys employees were notified today that January 26th will be their last day. How will these people make their car payments? How are they going to make those mortgage payments? And think about this. Macys are typically located at malls. These are what they call anchor stores. And, you know, the Macys, some of the other bigger stores, Nordstrom's, maybe if there's a J.C. Penney's around. These anchor stores are what typically attracts people to the malls, to the local restaurants. And when you lose a Macy's at your mall, that's a big deal because less people are going to show up at that mall. Less people are going to show up in those surrounding areas and eating at those surrounding restaurants because Macy's is gone. So when you lose an anchor store, that's a big problem, and it's going to cause more vacant real estate. We're going to see these massive stores, 5 of them now that we're being told that will close in early 2024. You're going to see 5 more vacant Macy's stores. And who's paying for these vacancies? How does that affect the malls? Well, it's going to affect the mall economy for sure, but who's paying for the empty real estate now? Is it going to be these bondholders, hedge funds, pensions, other investors? They're holding all this commercial real estate, and guess what? Nobody's in these buildings. And here's 5 more massive buildings that will be vacant in early 2024. It's going to just be bad all the way around. Google CEO says more job cuts are needed in 2024. Nobody is immune from losing their job. Nobody. You know, you have to be preparing at this point to lose a job. And how do you prepare? You've got to be getting your debts paid down, manageable. You got to be putting cash reserves away. I mean, to me, the biggest thing is get the debts paid off and save some cash. Nobody's immune. Your spouse isn't immune. How many people could continue a normal life if their spouse lost their job? That's probably about 50% of the household income is gone. Could you still continue paying the bills? Could you continue to pay the mortgage, the rent, the car payments, the insurance? Last year, Google laid off, I believe, around 12,000 employees. This year, they've already laid off several hundred, and now they're announcing big cuts because they need to reach ambitious goals. They're cutting the fat. They don't need these people, and it's all about the bottom line. And so, again, these people have homes. They have car payments. They have student loan debt. They have credit card debt. How are they going to pay it? And it's so hard now to replace a good job. If you have a good job, maybe with benefits, or it's a good paying job, it's going to be really, really hard to replace a good job. Not like, you know, back in the day, you could replace a good job with another good job, maybe even find a better job. That's not the case today. Here's an article today. If you get 5 minutes, check it out. It's on The Hedge. It's titled 2024, Too Many Things Going Wrong. And there is no doubt a lot going wrong. And just a couple points here the article makes. In a growing economy, repaying debt with interest is very easy. In a shrinking economy, repaying debt with interest becomes close to impossible. We're going to see that as a nation, and you're beginning to see this happen to millions of households across America. It's going to be more difficult for the average person to pay back that loan on a house or a car because the economy is slowing down. And so when economies slow down, people get their hours cut, they get their wages cut, they lose their jobs. And guess what? The bills keep coming in. The interest rates keep going up. The bills must be paid. The economy doesn't care if you have a job or not. It doesn't care if you lost your job yesterday. It cares that you pay your bills. And it's going to get much more difficult for the average person. And look, I hate to say this. I hope that a year from now or 2 years from now or whenever it is that the news is much better and we can report about how great things are going and job creation and how much better the nation is. But we don't know what's going to happen a year from now or 2 years from now. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But what we're watching right now, we're connecting the dots, is the economy is not getting better, it's getting worse. And there's going to be a lot of blowback here because of the slowing economy. The economy, it says here, is acting like an 80-year-old human or person hobbling along on a walking stick. The economy is about to fall and become severely injured. I think that's a really, really good point right there. This economy is about to fall. It's going to fall like a very, very old, frail man. And, you know, when an old person falls and breaks their hip, it's usually not good, right? A lot of times that's how people lose their lives. Older, elderly people break a hip and, you know, that's it. This economy is about to fall, and it's going to break its hip, and it's not going to get back up, and it's going to be the end of it. And unfortunately, that is the truth. So if you get a second, check that out. Another article on The Hedge today, which I highly advise you take a few minutes and read. It's very, very good. A primer for American preppers facing an uncertain future. This is a really, really important article, and if you get a few minutes, please check it out. Make some incredible points here that I think most of you can relate to. The first one here is prepare for others. And it asks, do they deserve what they get? Yes, maybe they do, maybe they don't. Maybe some do while others do not, but that's going to be up to you. So maybe you're not just preparing for you. Maybe you're preparing, putting a little extra away for your kids, right? Or your grandkids or some family members or some very, very close friends. And so you're going to have to determine who deserves what they get and who doesn't. Survival alone is not victory. Your life is not worth more than the freedom of humanity. That is so true. Another point here. Fear is transitory. Regret is forever. Knowing that you could have done something, yet you chose to just sit your butt on the couch all day and do nothing, that regret is poison. And that poison will eat you alive forever. So this is a great day right now to get off the couch and say, hey, I'm going to do something. I'm going to improve my life. I'm going to improve my financial situation, my spiritual situation, my physical situation, my financial situation. I'm going to make sure my kids are safe. Today is the day you can get off the couch and do something, because if you don't, I guarantee that at some point you're going to regret your decision of sitting on the couch. Maybe not for you, but for your kids. You'll regret it, and it will eat you up for the rest of your life. You need to become the monster to defeat the monster. Here's another really good point right here. If someone declares war on you or your family, are you able to put that threat down? Are you able to deal with that threat? I would say most people are not. But at some point, you're going to have to probably deal with some really chaotic events, some possibly violent events here in this country. People are dealing with it every day right now. Just read the news. I mean, it's unbelievable the type of crimes that are taking place. And maybe it hasn't happened to you, but it's happened to a lot of people. But what if that day comes where you're faced with a monster? Are you going to be able to deal with that monster? Can you become the monster to deal with that monster and put that threat down? That's a question that everybody better ask themselves today. There are times to be visible and times when it is more important to be invisible. Very good point. In every moment of chaos, there is a moment of peace. There is a common misconception about preppers that we're always afraid and paranoid. The reality is quite the opposite. I've read the comments over the years. Oh, JB, you're paranoid. You're scared. You're just negative. Quite the opposite. I cannot reiterate enough times how well I sleep at night and how calm I am day to day. I mean, yes, there's things that I worry about. There's concerns I have. There's no doubt about it. But overall, I'm a very optimistic person. I'm a very happy person. I'm a very calm person. I don't really worry about too much because I've dealt with all the debt. I've gotten right with God. I've surrounded myself with the right people who are good people who have skills and bring things to the table. And so I think I'm a pretty well-rounded individual. Is there room for improvement? No doubt. Am I perfect? No, I'm not. But I'm always trying to improve. But I've noticed that the more that you're walking close to God, the more that you're physically training, the more that you're preparing and prepping and putting food away, the more that you're paying off those debts, the more calm and secure of a person you really are. So this misconception that everybody is scared and paranoid, quite the opposite. We're rarely afraid or paranoid because we've trained ourselves to be ready for the dangers, whether they're financial, physical, spiritual, you name it. We have been preparing ourselves daily, mentally, physically, to deal with these challenges. The people who are afraid, the people who panic, these are the unprepared. And as I make these videos, I don't want people to panic. I don't want people to be scared. I don't want people to be unprepared. I want everybody to be preparing daily, walking the walk. I know there's a lot of people out there that, they talk and they're not prepared. And you know who those people are. You can see, a lot of people out there making videos are extremely prepared. They're tough people. They've got their act together. But you can watch people who try to roll on the bandwagon, and of course they're always trying to sell something. But take a look at these people. Do you really do you think that is that the kind of person you want trying to protect you if something took place? Do you think that person is going to be the monster to deal with the monster trying to hurt your family? Do you think that person knows how to hunt, fish? Do you think that they know how to deal with confrontation? I mean, I see some of these people and they look extremely weak, extremely out of shape, but they're telling all of us that we need to get in better shape, that we need to get stronger. I look at these people and I go, man, they look extremely weak. These people don't look like they've ever been tested. These people are walking, but they're not walking the walk. And I advise that all of you walk the walk, that you begin testing and challenging yourselves right now. Put yourself in uncomfortable situations right now. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. What we do now echoes eternity. And at some point, you're going to ask yourself, what did you contribute? What did you do? And people always ask, what's the solutions? Well, one solution is you could be absorbing knowledge. Another solution is that if you're awake, you can be using your voice. You can be waking up other people. Yes, most people will never listen to you, but what if one does? What if 2 or 3 do? Everybody needs to vote. Yes, I know that, they'll say your vote doesn't count, but everybody needs to vote. Everybody needs to be praying right now for this country. Everybody needs to be an example. People are watching you, whether you believe it or not. There's people that watch you. Maybe it's your kids. Maybe it's people in your family. Maybe it's your neighbors. Maybe it's people you don't even know. But people are watching you. We should always be an example. And we should always lead with honor. Nobody's perfect. I'm certainly no angel. I can tell you that. Nobody's perfect. But we have got to wake up here and make sure that we're examples for other people. We're examples for younger people, that we're using our voices, we're using our votes, that we're continuing to absorb knowledge. Everybody can sit there and say, oh, I know everything. I'm completely prepared. Nobody is completely prepared. We can always be improving somewhere in our preparations. And that goes for everybody. Nobody's 100% prepared. And you may have all the food and water and gold and silver, but are you mentally prepared? Are you spiritually prepared? How's your security situation? You prepared there? Because if you can't protect this stuff, somebody's just going to take it. That's just reality. So I wanted to just make this video today. That's a great article, and I'm just touching on just a little bit of it. So if you get a few minutes, check it out on The Hedge. Be an example, lead with honor, and just become a better person daily, stronger, faster, better, smarter, just walking closer to God, just being spiritually stronger, financially stronger. There's so much we could be doing. I know that there's, these people out there, they get very, very triggered because they have to have an answer. Like, what do I do? What step do I do today? Then what step do I do? Nobody has the answer for you because everybody's situation is different. Your income is different. Where you live is different. Your environment is different. The size of your family is different. It's all different. You need to start thinking outside of the box for you. The main thing is we all need to be thinking for ourselves. Just really quick, what you could do is start getting out of the system. Get some gold, get some silver, put some cash away, get it out of the bank. You could get extra food, you could get extra water. We've said this a million times. Did you go to the gym today? Did you get your body in better shape? Did you get to the range? How's your security? Are you proficient? There's always something we can be doing. What about the friends in your circle? They bring skills to the table, or are these going to be the people that eat all your food when the lights go out? Think about that. What kind of friends are you keeping around you? There's just so much we can be doing right now. And a lot of people just, they always have to have somebody tell them, look, I'm not smarter than everybody out there. I'm just thinking, and I want everybody to think. There's a lot of people much smarter than myself, but there's always something you can be adding. Did you maybe start a new skill, learning a new skill? That would probably be a really good asset for where we're heading, and having multiple skills. That would probably be a really, really good one. Did you pay off all your debt today? That'd probably be a good one. There's so much, again, that you could be doing. You don't need somebody behind a camera to tell you what to do. Start thinking for yourself. How do you become the most independent, self-sufficient person you could possibly be? Think about that. And if you think long and hard, you'll probably figure out a few things you could start today. I don't want to rant. I'm going to leave it there today. God bless every one of you. Thanks for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. Pray for this country. Wow. Things are not looking good in this country. I will say that. And I pray that they improve. Thank God that we still have a chance. And the longer this thing goes on, it allows you more opportunity to prepare, not make excuses, but to continue to prepare. You know, people are going to make excuses all the way to the end, and then the excuses are over. All you have is what you have. Don't allow this time to just go by. Time is one of the most important assets we have. Use it wisely. Don't use it to just make excuses every day that nothing bad's going to happen. Oh, you know, the government's going to save us. Our politicians are going to save us. You know, God's going to save us. No, God's going to test us. We are heading into a time where God is about to test America. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing is going to stop what is coming. There's going to be two types of people, the prepared and the unprepared, and you have a choice to make. God bless.